wishing a happy Labor Day to actual laborers. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the church. We're going to mandate you get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sharing. Love that about you. Comedian Scott Seiss is in studio. He's made all those videos that have gone viral to the tune of millions and millions of views.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. I was watching them yesterday and was laughing. And I think just because you're not a household name yet, we should play a couple little montage, a few of those videos, so people know what we're talking about. Now, these are shot in retail locations, right?
Well, they're actually in my apartment. That's a fake background.
Oh, you did a fake background.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, see?
I'm sure that's a stock image I don't have the rights to or something.
Cheap fake. All right, we'll play the vids for you.
Can you just check in the back? Can you just accept we don't have it? The back ain't some magical place. What do you think is back there, Santa's workshop? The only thing back there is a clipboard with our schedules and some brownies Darcy brought in. I'd like to speak to your manager. I'd like to speak to your mother. Tell her she should be embarrassed. She raised someone to act like a baby in public. You want to speak to the manager, please? Manager doesn't know what's going on. Haven't you ever worked anywhere before? I know the sale ended last week, but can I still get a discount? Do you hear yourself? We can't go backwards. Time marches on. You want the sale from 15 years ago, too? When's it end, Diane? You want that price? You're going to have to go through the quantum realm with Ant-Man.
How many views do these have?
Oh, it's like hundreds of millions at this point.
Hundreds of millions?
Yeah, because of TikTok, and then they went to Instagram and Twitter, and then people who weren't me stole them and started posting them places too. Yeah, but it's like, I just love that they get shared, man, and it's my big face on there, so I don't have a problem.
It's also so strange, the rhythm of humans, where you just have no idea what's going to be captured and shared and what's going to just sort of drift into the night with all the other great movies or books that you've never seen or read. You know what I mean? And then there's Maneater by Hall & Oates. Like, I don't know why we have to hear that shitty song, but we do. Because we've decided we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to hear Jack and Diane or Maneater ever again, but society outvoted me. They went, no, we do.
Yeah, that's some stuff just resonates, and then people go, I want to, hear this all the time.
I want to hear Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. I want it played at my fucking funeral, and I want speakers put into my coffin. That's how most people feel about that song.
Right.
Whereas I go, I didn't like it that much 13,000 listens ago, but now I'm fully saturated with all of those songs. But society's like, we need them. We want them.
I think everyone is just being too polite. If you asked anyone, do you want to hear Don't Stop Believing Again? I think they would say, no, but I think other people like it. And it's like, can we all just fucking decide to stop?
I wish you were right, because I would embark on that campaign to get them to stop. But the last time I saw a show, I was at a venue in Palm Desert, not of my choosing, and we had to see Paul Abdul. And when I walked in there, DJ Jazzy Jeff was in the middle of playing Don't Stop Believing, and the entire place was on its feet. Entire fucking venue filled with stooges. An entire group of people that think Paul Abdul is worth a listen were on their feet, and I don't think they know it. That's the thing.
Not even the lyrics? What, they were singing along, surely.
No, they know the song. Sorry, they know the song clearly. They don't really know it's bad and being spoon-fed to them. They just like it. Like I always tell the story. I was with some friends, and where all I recall is winter break, going to some party in some ski chalet when some group of friends went out of town and hung out for the winter break or something. And I was driving to the party that these people were throwing.
Yeah.
And I heard the song Abracadabra by Steve Miller on the way over, and I started getting angry. Like, I hate this song. It sucks. It sucks. It sucks. Why am I listening to it? And the wife of Mole from The Big Three and from Windy City Heat, for anyone who knows that movie and the reference or whatever, was there, Daryl. And I walked into the party, it's like a head of steam. And I just walked in and I go, God, I heard that song. Abracadabra again. And she goes, I love that song. And I go, oh boy. And I just left the party. But I just mean, it's like, this is unbridgeable. It's not bridgeable.
I love how we got to this from you watching the videos. Like, you're like, Stooges need to stop watching your content, Scott. Is that where the point
No,
is?
that's not. It's the subtext. But it's not the text. It's the subtext.
Oh, okay. That you're just implying
No,
that.
what I'm saying is it does sound like that. It does. It's not. Yours is funny, but yours is a high quality product. But so is the movie Airplane.
Right.
And everyone can quote every line from Airplane.
Right.
So it makes it that much more confounding when the bad shit slips through.
Right. People just like something that's familiar to them, I guess.
Yes.
You know, they go, oh, I recognize this. I can clap to this and not embarrass myself.
You know who likes things that are familiar?
Who?
Dogs. They love familiar shit. They'll chase that same fucking tennis ball and eat the same kibble.
They do.
Every single night.
Every fucking night.
So were you doing stand-up before making these vids?
Yeah. I was doing stand-up for about like 8 or 9 years before it really took off on TikTok, and I was just doing open mics in Baltimore. I was hosting at Magooby's.
Magooby's, Joe Cut, yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing stand-up and then pivoted to TikTok when that was catching on, and the customer service videos just took off, man.
Yeah, there's a genius in, I look at those kind of things like I look at really good logos. Like a really good logo, there's a genius in it. Like there's a simplicity, but there's a genius in the simplicity of it, you know? And like when you come up with a really good idea and it just resonates with people, there's a kind of genius in it, but it's the simplicity. Like what you're doing is very straightforward, but yet it captures something in people.
Yeah, and I've been lucky enough where it's like I've just been making them for the past like 3 years, and I guess because there's so much to complain about at your fucking job, I don't really run out of things. Like people just still send me ideas and like, oh, I was dealing with like someone saying, oh, I've been a customer here for over 40 years today. Website said it was in stock. Like there just seems to be a never-ending kind of rush of people complaining about their jobs.
Did you work retail before?
Yeah, I worked in the call center for IKEA.
Oh man.
Yes, which was terrible.
I could imagine because it's a lot of confusion over there. I was just at the Burbank one.
Oh yeah.
Good food court.
Yes.
For the price. That's for damn sure.
What'd you do? The meatballs, the salmon?
Yeah, the meatballs. Did like the plate with the peas and the meatballs. And for $4 you can feed a family of 9.
Right.
You know, like it's pretty good eating. I don't know. I'll tell you how I feel if I manage the IKEA.
Okay.
And maybe, feel free to disagree.
Okay.
If I owned a bookstore, and sometimes bookstores put like armed leather chairs, like high armed leather chairs. They'll have chairs around and stuff like that. If I saw someone consistently coming in and just grabbing a book and then sitting around and reading it for 4 hours and then leaving without buying a book, I'd ban that fucker. I'd be like, listen, I'm running a fucking bookstore here, not a fucking library, freeloader. You want to come in and buy a book, but don't come in and hang out. Use the bathroom and read the shit and then put it back. If I managed that IKEA in Burbank, I'd be like, you want to come in and buy a bookshelf and then buy a meatball that I'm losing money on? So be it. But you can't come in here with your fucking family and just eat. That's not our business model. This is for people that are shopping, not you and your cheap ass family and you got a fucking coupon and Wednesday kids eat free. No. Before 5, adults like half price or whatever. They got deals going on. They got people eating. There's no way IKEA's turning a profit on that.
I mean, well, maybe on the food. I think you're right.
On the food, yeah.
I mean, that's
you got to buy something.
That's why everything is like structured like a maze. They're trying to keep people in the fucking store, like looking at the furniture until they can buy something. You know what I mean? They're trying to confuse you as you go in.
I know, and I always turn the wrong way, and then I seem like the retarded fish in the aquarium. Where like they're all moving clockwise and I'm moving the other direction, banging into groupers. looking confused. And then I can't get out.
Yeah. And there's shortcuts that only the employees know about this, but they would tell us, they would give us a map where you can cut through and get to the end. You can go into an IKEA and get right to the Cinnabons on the way out. You don't have to walk through the entire store.
Wow.
Yeah, you just got to turn left as soon as you walk in.
You possess that knowledge.
I possess that knowledge.
I need you to be a kind of IKEA Sherpa for me. Like, we're going to go into the Burbank IKEA and we'll be like, listen, I want to see some bookshelves, but then we're going right to the cafeteria. So I'm going to need you to guide me.
I'm taking the secret elevator to $6 6 hot dog deal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So you had to do, what was the normal call that you would get on the trouble line for IKEA?
Oh, it's like, how the fuck do I build this?
I could imagine a lot of that. Right?
It was a lot of like, send me a photo of what you have done, and it's like you have to start all the way over, dude. You don't even have the biggest thing at IKEA, and I don't know why they don't fix this, but when you buy a bed at IKEA, they sell an essential part of the bed frame separately, and they kind of put this on signage. It's the mid-beam of the bed. And so if you buy a bed frame and you take it home and you try to build it, if you didn't get that separate thing, you can't complete it. And that was like the number one thing. They're like, where the fuck is this part? And it's like, well, as a policy, that's in a separate section of the store.
I have this thought a lot, which is I just purchased a bunch of cabinets, lower cabinets, kitchen lower cabinets, and no one brought up shit about toe kicks. And thank God I'm the king of all toe kicks, and I've used to work in cabinet shops and have no problem knocking out a toe kick. But the person that sold me the lowers should have went, and you're not going to just fucking set those on the floor, right? Like, you're going to need a toe kick. Would you like to purchase a toe kick?
Right.
That mum was the word with toe kicks.
There's secrets. You have to read forums to understand this before you go in the store.
Why not volunteer these things? You know, like if you're selling back in the day, you know, you sell a kid's toy or something, and the person would go, that doesn't come with batteries.
Right.
So don't go home, set it all up, and then have to go back out again and get your D-cells. Like, you need your batteries. It's
solely to infuriate you personally.
But I get it, but what I don't get is, like, I feel like the car industry, like, when they sell you a car, they go, listen, for another $128, we can Simonize the interior so it won't stain, and then we can do a Z-bar on the outside for rust proofing. You know, they're constantly upselling. What happened to IKEA? I need a toe kick, bitch. Why can't you bring it up?
There's like I don't know, there's something about, like, you feel like a part of the elite, like, oh, I know all the secrets to this place. I'm an expert shopper here. You know what I mean? Like, I know when to get the deals on the meatballs. I know exactly what, you know, like a Fugelheimer is, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's an elitism to knowing everything about the store.
Well, you're not, you know, a Navy SEAL or in Delta Force if you got a job at the Burbank IKEA. You're getting $17 an hour, and you're basically a loser. So let's drop the attitude, is what I'm saying. It was funny when I was watching your stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody brought up this old bumper bit I did 20 years ago when I was doing a late night show called Slippery Slope Guy.
Yes, I was hearing about this.
And somebody said it, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's kind of, it's not like, oh, he ripped it off. I mean, it's the same sort of construct or something. Start with this and then end with that.
This is a gotcha interview. You're telling, I owe you money. I owe you money. That's what you're saying to me.
Well, my Slippery Slope Guy videos have gotten probably 4,000 clicks on the internet. I don't think we're up to 10,000. But I told Joe to pick out a couple they thought were funny, and we'll take a walk down memory lane. We'll need the sound.
And now an editorial from Slippery Slope Guy on sex education.
Is educating our children about sex important? Yes. But it's a slippery slope. First, you're teaching kids about the reproductive system. Then a transsexual is opening your child's mind to an alternative lifestyle. And the next thing you know, a gym coach and 6 shop teachers are pulling a train on your 7th grade daughter, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
may have been right about some of this stuff. All right, let's try one more.
And now, an editorial from Slippery Slope Guy on condoms in school.
Should condoms be given out in schools? Maybe. But it's a slippery slope. First, it's prophylactics in the classroom. Then the next thing you know, jackbooted government thugs have stormed your home and are fitting your daughter with a strap on and presenting your son with his first row of anal beads, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it.
Were they all about children and sex? Or was that...
No, that was just unfortunate that we decided that was a good order to put these in, Joe. Let's do medical marijuana, and just so you don't think it's all children.
An editorial from Slippery Slope Guy.
There's like 20 of them.
On medical marijuana.
Does marijuana have some medical value? Maybe. But it's a slippery slope. First, your doctor's prescribing pot for your mother's glaucoma. Then he's treating your kid's head lice with hashish. And the next thing you know, a gang of government-funded hippies has stormed your house and forced your infant to mainline a speedball, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it!
Anyway, 4,000 clicks on there. Didn't catch on. It didn't capture the imagination of America.
But it's so funny, though, because it really is a super similar formula to the videos that I do, which is like just someone slowly losing their mind about something mundane, and then it's cutting away with music. You're turning to the camera, looking directly into it, but that's hilarious.
I'm glad you liked it. I haven't seen it in a while, but it kind of made me laugh. Speaking of making me laugh, I was watching, they're doing a Hulu Baywatch, series.
Okay.
Which is a retrospective. They're now doing this thing where it's like they're doing mini docs on just sort of everything or multiple part sort of docs on stuff. And I'll watch any doc, and this one's on Baywatch. And the kid who Jeremy Jackson, that was the guy he started on Baywatch when he was 8 years old. Mm-hmm. And he played Mitch, whoever Buchanan, he played Hasselhoff's son.
Okay.
And his name was Hobie. Hobie is the name of a catamaran. Hobie cat. It was very popular back in the day. They were called Hobie cats.
Okay.
Now, they never addressed it, but am I to believe that Hasselhoff's character in Baywatch was so in love with the sea that he named his only son after a catamaran? Or is it just Hobie when nobody's named Hobie? Or did the wife name him Hobie, who we never hear from? It seems like more of a coincidence. It seems like more than a coincidence that his son was named Hobie.
Right.
And Hobie was the name of a manufacturer who made seagoing vessels.
And there's a whole documentary dedicated to this.
There is going to be when I'm fucking done. Before I'm done with this shit. Not addressed in the doc thus far.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yet his son was named Hobie in the 80s when nobody was named Hobie. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm asking. Anyway, Jeremy Jackson, it's also a chain of surf shops in L.A., so says Joe the Surfer. But how long have they been around? Did they name themselves after Hasselhoff's kid?
1954. I always assumed in watching that show that was the reference.
Hobie. But it was an Easter egg, right? It wasn't, the people in the Midwest just thought his name was Hobie. There wasn't Hobie Cat or Hobie Surf Shop, right? Well, it didn't slide by this young man, I'll tell you that right now. So...
There was a Hobie in every class I had growing up.
Was there?
No.
No, that's the point. All right, so they named him Hobie, and then Jeremy Jackson, who was 8 at the time, when they started, I don't know, he was on for like 8 seasons or something, but he's now sitting back and telling the documentary makers that he did something odd as a young man, and we'll play you on the set of Baywatch, and we'll play it for you. And there's another part you should look out for.
I was too young to hook up with the chicks, but old enough to want to.
That's
former Baywatch star Jeremy Jackson, revealing that when he did the show at age 13, he had a little case of puppy love.
Let's just say I've smelled every on Baywatch.
Turns out he was more into cats, because Jeremy's formative years were spent alongside Pam Anderson, Carmen Electra, and Nicole Eggert. And he says,
I would usually sneak in their trailers after they were done and grab their dirty bathing suits.
He used to sniff their bathing suits.
I mean, he's saying this out loud?
Yup, in the new Baywatch doc called Bay Crotch. Actually, it's called After Baywatch, but what a missed opportunity.
You do a lot of weird stuff when you're a teen, but like, would you talk on camera about all the weird things you did?
But wait a minute, he's a 13-year-old in puberty. He's on the hottest show on television. No harm, no foul. I mean, it was like,
well, foul.
Hey, Jeremy's not one to sniff and tell.
He said that his favorite was Nicole Eggert.
Can you take that as a compliment?
Nicole's both on the same documentary, and she's like, we're not surprised.
I want you to be surprised on the panty sniffer. I don't want you to be like, oh, that checks out.
Well, Jeremy's not ashamed. Now, uncomfortably laugh us out of here.
I've smelled every on Baywatch.
All right, so all we need is the last 10 seconds because he starts laughing and he goes, which is kind of, I don't think he's doing it intentionally, but he goes, I've smelled every bathing suit in Baywatch. Like, I know some people laugh differently. Those are 3 hard sniffs right in the middle of his, what? Just listen for the sniff, and the third one is a big one.
I've smelled every on Baywatch.
He puts his nose up like a beagle and goes,
he's on the hunt. He's on the hunt.
I'm saying, I don't know if the camera person was a woman, but he was definitely getting some of her vibe, right?
He was catching a scent there in the middle.
One more time. Just watch. He does 2 preemptive snorts, 2 big, and then he goes into a laugh.
Smelled every on Baywatch.
And they cut him off, too. There could have been another 8 or 10 snorts in there.
Smelling bathing suits. It's a slippery slope till 7 actresses running a train on Hobie right now. Okay, you understand me?
Oh, I don't know. It's always weird. I don't know. It's a... I don't know. It's a burden to see things and everything, but I was like, this guy's sniffing his ass off. I know. Look, you're laughing, but you're not sniffing.
No, I'm not sniffing.
You can laugh without, and he puts his nose in the air.
Like he's trying to find something.
He's looking for a trouble. He is.
He clearly developed, like, you know,
he's clearly mocking us, too, right? He's just admitting what he did and going... That's mockery, right?
Yeah, he's mocking us.
Now, do we like that he's this forthcoming?
I mean...
Do we appreciate his candor?
I do.
You do?
I mean, this was in the documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you watch a documentary for. I don't want to just hear everyone had a great time. I want to hear something insane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you know? I want to hear that, like... What did he say? What is he saying? There wasn't a pussy I didn't smell? Is that what he's saying?
The thing about the bleeping out is that sometimes with your imagination it goes deeper than you think. You know what I mean?
They didn't just bleep the word bathing suit.
I got bleeped out. I did Kimmel's show once, and I got bleeped out for saying, I'm going to beat the bejesus out of this guy. So they bleeped out bejesus. They bleeped out bejesus, so now it sounds, and I was talking about like some comedian or something. I don't remember what it was, but they bleeped it out. So anyone at home watching thinks I said I'm going to beat the shit out of this person when I actually said bejesus, but they bleeped it out, thus making it worse.
So you think he was smelling everyone's bejesus?
He could have been smelling the bejesus out of everybody.
It's like the bejesus out of Pamela Anderson.
They said, it was interesting. So they bleeped out what he said, right?
Yeah.
But did you get what the TMZ guys went to right after he said it.
No, what did they go to?
If you roll it back...
Maybe he said crotch?
No. They bleeped out, after he said it, they made a reference to the ladies being kitty cats. So just listen to what the geniuses at TMZ did. We'll just play it and we'll see if we can hear that part.
I know. That's former Baywatch star Jeremy Jackson revealing that when he did the show at age 13, he had a little case of puppy love.
Let's just say I've smelled every on Baywatch.
Turns out he was more into cats, because Jeremy's
All right,
formative...
so turns out he was more into cats, and he said puppy love, and then
Right.
more into cats, but cats and pussy.
Right.
We there?
That's what I think he said.
Yeah. But they said cats. Turns out he's more into cats, so he probably said pussy.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying, based on the cats.
Definitely.
So he smelt the bejesus out of his cats. So he is saying I smelled everyone's pussy on Baywatch.
That's insane.
That is pretty forthcoming.
Yeah, that's wild. You think and then they were like, well, he was on the most popular show. And it's like, but wasn't he I don't know, dating people his own age or something? Surely he was popular with girls.
Okay, I have an alternate theory.
Okay.
His name was Hobie, and the catamaran was called a Hobie cat.
Oh, here we go.
And now we're getting into the pussy and the cat. Now I'm confused. I've confused myself with too much knowledge.
Feels like I'm in an IKEA right now, man. I can't get out.
Well, I think what he's basically saying is he was 13 and he was on set all day with these amazing, beautiful women,
right.
Scantily clad, and his hormones were going nuts. Now, a little peek into my psyche, I would have been trying to catch a look at him through their trailer window. I don't think I would have gone bloodhound. I would have gone visual. You know what I mean? I gotta get a look at one of these chicks when she's changing. That's where I would have been at.
Right.
I would have seen Pam Anderson go into her trailer, shut the door, heard the shower fire up or something, and tried to come up with some plan that I could somehow catch a look.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, clearly he's got some sort of, nasal fixation going on.
Yeah.
I like to think maybe he wasn't actually smelling them, he was smelling a newly washed bathing suit, and now he's just really horny when he smells Tide or something like that. No?
No, because he said after a day of shooting.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
And I wonder if he was, remember a couple years ago there was that chick who was selling her farts in a jar?
Yeah.
I wonder if Jeremy Jackson.
I got a couple of those. No,
you got. No, sorry. I'm not judging. I'm just saying. I wonder if he got his credit card out. That's all. Little residual money.
Yeah, that's right.
We have Nicole Egerts, who is his number one. She's liked her the most. Here's her reaction to having her bathing suit smelled, her soiled bathing suit.
Well, I'm very accustomed to Jeremy being very honest and being himself. And, he's a grown man at this point, and that's what we love about Jeremy is his honesty and his candor, and that's really what the documentary is about, is finding out about all these things. And the fact that he can make fun of an adolescent Jeremy, it's the truth, and it's hilarious, and I know people are shocked by it, but I'm sure men that of that adolescent age had done, I'm sure all of us at a weird adolescent age had, done some different things, and I just love it because I love him for his honesty and sharing with us.
So did you find out at that moment when he said it, or did you know before?
No, I found out after he said it in the interview. Yes. So
that kind of changes things because it's many years later.
Yeah. And listen, he's not that person anymore. If he was doing it as a man, that would be a different story.
Oh, he's still going strong. I guarantee it. If you had a trailer next to his house, he'd be in there sniffing around. Listen, I love her attitude.
Yeah.
And if we had more people who didn't think of themselves as victims or weren't lawyering up or explaining why they're in therapy now because that guy sniffed my one piece, we'd be living in a much better society. I like her attitude.
She wasn't kink shaming, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I love the idea of she's just walking down the street and someone comes up to her. Excuse me, a teenager smelled your genitals. How do you feel about that? Like,
I know. She's leaving some appointment in some hotel or something, and it's a TMZ guy wants to talk to you about your crotch for a few minutes out on the sidewalk. I also feel a little bad for the guys who are in the shot who have to walk past it.
Yeah.
Because they didn't agree. And that guy, the guys who passed it could have just been banging their guma in that hotel. They told their wife, they were out of town working or something, and now they're in the background of TMZ.
You can see a couple of those guys, their nostrils flared up. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Hold on. The book. Am I missing the book? Yeah. Sorry. The customer is always wrong. That's the name. It's available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon, and it'll be September 10th.
Yes.
But you can pre-order it now.
Yes, you can pre-order it now and get a signed copy, and it's just, it just makes fun of all the annoying parts of having a job.
So they came to you, the publisher, when they saw the success.
Yes.
And they came to you and they said, we want you to write a book.
Yeah, they were like, I had all these bits and jokes that didn't fit into the videos because I'm trying to keep them all down to 15 seconds, 20 seconds. So, people would come up to me after shows, be like, I could fill a book with everything I, experienced at work. And I started to think, I could fill a book too. I'll fill a fucking book. And then wrote this book, super proud of it. It comes out in a couple weeks.
Oh, good. I never worked retail. People that work retail have big issues with humanity. But there's still, there's kind of annoying jobs, and then there's sort of soul-breaking jobs, Like, I've had soul-breaking jobs, like real heavy-duty, construction-y, dirty, horrible shit.
Yeah.
I feel like transcends this person was annoying. It was like this person was threatening me.
Yes.
Like that, like weird, scary stuff. Like there's jobs that are like boring. Mm-hmm. There's jobs that are annoying, and then there's being a coal miner in the 30s. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I've had a lot of coal miner in the 30s jobs,
I haven't had any of those jobs, but maybe I'll try that and I'll write a book about that next. Maybe.
It'll reset you. You will be dying for an annoying person when you're feeling like your life may be in danger.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I get that. There's just but the thing about retail is that it can go just beyond someone asking about a coupon. It's like I get so many people coming out to stores or coming out to shows being like, oh, someone just took a shit right on the floor at Kohl's and I had,
we're there now. Yeah, I think we're getting to the point where the retail's getting dicey and the coal mine has been cleaned up. Because now there's crazy smash and grabs and guys just driving their pickup trucks through the front window and guys jumping out, gangbangers jumping out and grabbing shit. You're right. It's like the coal mine was the dangerous place and the retail was, a couple kids shoplifting a candy bar back in the day.
Right.
Now the retail's gone cattywampus and the coal mine's been safened up, right?
Yeah, it's gone kind of crazy. And then you have this whole other aspect of it, which is people just recording retail workers at their job, trying to get them fired or trying to pull them into a TikTok prank or dance, whatever the fuck it is. And it's just give people space.
The one that always gets me is the person freaking out at the airport in front of the Delta counter when they're going, the plane's left. You know what I mean? They grab the computer and throw it and stuff. It's this person is not in charge of that plane.
Right.
This person's only telling you something you don't want to hear.
Right.
But they're not in charge of the plane. And you've just ripped their computer off their desk and threw it at them. It also seems like a weird coping mechanism. This is how you deal. You ever see the movie Roadhouse?
Yes.
Good answer.
Okay.
The new one?
Oh, no, I haven't seen the new one.
Good. These are both good answers.
Okay.
But you've seen the old one.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes I think about sort of conflict resolution. So let's just say you're the chick who's standing at the Delta counter, and the chick behind the counter saying the plane's already left, and your reaction, instead of asking for the next available flight or booking a hotel or whatever that thing is, is to tear the computer off her desk and throw it at her. What must you be like in other facets of life? You know, when you hear stuff you don't like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm guessing there's a lot of like photos hung over drywall getting smashed in.
In her apartment?
Yes, exactly, that kind of shit.
So there's a great scene in Roadhouse that I always think about, which is first Roadhouse.
Mm-hmm.
The chick, there's a hot chick in the middle of the Roadhouse, and she decided to like stand up on top of the table and dance and like show her tits or something.
Okay.
And at some point, Dalton, the bouncer, went, you got to get off the table. And he like extended his hand to her, and she grabbed his hand and she stepped off the table. And her boyfriend pulled a knife out and lunged at Dalton. And I think, how do you get through a Saturday night? Like, you're going to be in prison for the rest of your natural life if this is what makes you want to stab somebody. Like somebody gets your, you know, you ask for the curly fries and you got the sweet potato fries. Like, out comes the knife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd certainly be in jail
right
if
away.
If this was enough. If the bouncer going, you're not allowed to dance on the table, but let me help you off. If that's enough for you to lunge at him with a knife, then there's going to be an issue. And I feel maybe that guy should get together with the chick at the Delta counter. And they should have the most volatile couple on the planet.
It's like, you're telling me you've never had a minor inconvenience before? You're telling me this is the worst thing that's happening? Like, how do you even get to like 25 if that's your natural reaction to something?
Yeah, so like when you're coming out of the Costco and someone left a shopping cart behind your car, do you just stab everyone in the parking lot?
Just in case.
Well, I think we have the scene here.
Oh, yes.
Oh, this is good. Let's see.
Come on, darling. Woo! Hey, pal, do me a favor. Get her down off there. What do you say? I say let her dance. Woo! Woo!
So the boyfriend is wanting to let her dance on top of the table.
We don't want to...
Oh, and they're just saying you're not allowed to dance on top of a table. That's all right. Sorry. Out comes the switchblade.
Out comes the switchblade immediately.
So if you're like at a Fuddruckers and you just stand on top of the table and someone goes, "Hey, you're not allowed to stand on the table," you just pull out a stiletto and lunge at them.
That's where we're at now.
Is that where we're at?
That's where we're at. Yes. This is what the book's about. It's mainly like self-defense methods.
Oh, it's about Roadhouse? I'll watch it. I'll read the shit out of that book.
The whole book.
You didn't tell me it was about Roadhouse.
Frame by frame
now
analysis
I'm
of
excited.
Roadhouse.
All right.
It's about the new version, though.
You're getting a pre-order, bro. If it's about Roadhouse, even if half of it's about Roadhouse, I'm buying that book.
Oh, yeah. You'll be very excited with this then.
I cannot wait. Wow, this is serendipity too.
I know, I can't believe
And the other
it.
half's about Baywatch?
Exactly.
Pre-order that shit?
There's a lot of scratch and sniff stuff going on in the back of it too, yeah.
Little Hobie scratch?
Little Hobie scratch.
All right, well, that's different. I thought it was just you kind of yammering on about stuff. I didn't know it was Baywatch and Hobie. I didn't know. You should have front-loaded that shit. This is a totally different dynamic we're about to have. You know, I was insulting when you sat down initially, but I'm taking it all back. I did not know it was about Roadhouse and Baywatch. I also learned from watching the doc that Hasselhoff is very proud of his singing.
Okay, yeah.
Which is, aren't we all jealous of that? To be fair to middling at something
to be
and
blissfully
very
unaware.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Just like he gets up there and kind of sings like someone you know at Thanksgiving who might sing, but certainly never did that, never got paid too. You know, some uncle's doing some karaoke or something, but not paid, professional. And he does it and he loves it. And he talks about it.
I mean, doesn't he have like a huge fan base in Germany with the singing? Like, does he tour?
Right. But I think there's a thing going on.
Okay.
Tell me what you think. There's a theory.
Okay.
Germany loves David Hasselhoff.
Right.
And they say it to the extent that someone who lives outside of Baltimore who works on the IKEA hotline is very well aware of it. We're aware of this.
Correct.
Right? And Germany's like, we love this guy. And then we're like, this guy's a douchebag who can't sing. And they're like, we love him. And we go, but he makes a stupid show where he talks to his car. And they're like, we love this guy. Mm-hmm. That's Germany. Then there's France. France loves Jerry Lewis. And we're like, we hate Jerry Lewis.
Okay.
We think he's a fucking blowhard douchebag. We love him. Yeah, but he's such a fucking hack and he's such a douchebag. We love him. Now, these are both people we had to deal with in World War II. Germany, there was Dresden, firebombing, come after him.
Okay.
France hates us because we shame them by liberating them. Are they just taking two Americans who we hate the most and saying they love them the most to piss us off?
As revenge.
It's revenge.
Wow.
They don't really think Jerry Lewis is funny, and they certainly don't think Hasselhoff has pipes. They're just doing it to fuck with us.
I love that theory.
You like that theory?
I love that the government is forcing people to buy albums. There's just a warehouse full of these.
Listen, Germany has a rich history of controlling their populace. Let's just put it that way. So they love, he sung atop of the Berlin Wall when it was coming down.
Okay.
On a forklift, on a cherry picker, in a jacket that was adorned with Christmas lights.
And no one asked him to.
Nobody asked him to. He said, fuck it. This is where I'm going. Show him on the Berlin Wall. And all I'm saying is, Germany's got a bone to pick with us, and so does France. And is this how they're repaying us? Because it can't be a coincidence that they picked the number one and number two most hated douchebags in this country and decided to build monuments to them. It's impossible. It's statistically impossible. Just like Hobie could never be named Hobie. You with me?
What country do you think is taking revenge on us for that one?
For Hobie?
Yeah, for Hobie.
That's a good... You know what? I'm going to put my guys on that. All right, here's him with his... on top of the Berlin Wall with a light-up jacket.
I mean, my theory is the forklift's trying to take him away. The forklift is waiting for people to part. They're trying to back out.
They're trying to back it out.
Yeah.
It would sound better if that backup beeper kicked in. Meep, I've been looking, meep, meep, for free, meep. So you think they're trying to cart him away?
Yeah, they're trying to cart him away. They were like, no, you'll see more people from up here, Hasselhoff.
He's so into it. You got that jacket. By the way, it's a lot of technology for 1989 or 87 or whatever, the Berlin Wall.
I wouldn't have trusted this jacket.
What year did the Berlin, 86? What year did the Berlin Wall come down? I'll put it on my screen. If you can't find it on the computer, what do you think?
89.
89. Oh, I was right
89.
initially, and then I questioned myself, which I should learn to never do. All right, Dawson's got some news, right, Dawson?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to do some news with Scott Seiss, and we'll do all that right after this. Simply Safe. Well, I've used it. I've trusted it. I've recommended it for years. They've been with us since the beginning, or pretty darn close to the beginning. And I partnered with Simply Safe to offer my listeners peace of mind and 50% off. Just visit simplysafe.com/Adam. We all use it here. We've always used it here. Dawson used it way back in his old apartment. Then he moved into a house and he took the system with him because it's not hardwired. With exclusive 24/7 live guard protection, Simply Safe agents can act within 5 seconds of receiving your alarm and can even see and speak to intruders inside of your home. Install and activate in less than an hour. It's Simply Safe. 2 eyes. Simply Safe. Right, Dawson?
Get 50% off a new Simply Safe monitoring system, plus free indoor security camera with Fast Protect monitoring. Just visit simplysafe.com/Adam to claim this discount. That's simplysafe.com/Adam. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Morgan and Morgan. Life can be crazy sometimes, and one person's negligence can result in another's settlement. That's right. So if you've ever been injured, check out Morgan and Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Over 100 offices nationwide and more than 1,000 lawyers. More than $20 billion recovered for 500,000 plus clients. So that's big. Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you the full and fair compensation. Going on the road and doing stand-up every weekend, well, that can be hard. But submitting an injury claim with Morgan & Morgan, that's easy. So if you got a situation, you need to talk to a pro. You talk to Morgan & Morgan, right, Dawson?
If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/Adam or dial #law, #529 from your cell phone. That's forthepeople.com/Adam or #law, #529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement.
Scott's got a book available for pre-order called The Customer's Always Wrong. And then when you pre-order it, it'll arrive when the book drops. So they say. That used to be the deal. I assume it's still in place. That'll be September 10th. All right, Dawson's here, and he's brought his news.
Yeah, we're going to lead off with some more Baywatch stuff because we haven't gotten enough of it yet. It appears that also in the documentary that the Baywatch cast didn't get paid the big bucks despite the show's worldwide success. It's kind of embarrassing, I think. The cast members say that they are offered $3,500 a show, said Nicole Eggert, whereas the cast of Friends was earning $1 million each.
Yeah, there's always that. You know, as a guy who used to build houses for a living and build, which was my job, you know, the notion of you bought that land for $200,000, then we built the house for $300,000, and then 11 years later you sold it for $2.7 million. Like, where's my cut? It's like, I don't know. I got paid $15 an hour to frame the fucking house. That's how it worked. Or like every guy who's built a casino. Like there are iron workers who are on a crew that built Caesars, and that was 26 years ago. I mean, it was longer ago, but let's say the new wing or whatever, and all they do is make $1 billion a year, but no residual check goes to the iron worker who built the fucking place. It doesn't make sense to me that only in TV where you go, I shot that Pepsi commercial, now I need to get paid in perpetuity. It's like you didn't do anything and you got paid for the fucking day you did do something and tough shit.
Right.
And listen, if you can drive a better deal, drive a better deal. But that's it. I have no sympathy for actors. Plus, Nicole Eggert, you got $3,500 a week or an episode or a day or like whatever it is, as opposed to working at the Cinnabon at LAX. Like what were you were just going to do some, you're going to invent the cure for cancer or something and sell it to Upjohn? Like what's the alternative of what you would have got paid for?
Right. I like your
with
point.
Your high school diploma and all.
I think you should go with that, though. Like, normal workers should get residuals for what they do. Because people are underpaid, I feel like, with their labor. You know what I mean?
If you work on a building, you get paid a certain amount of money based on traffic that goes into that building, foot traffic.
Yes, exactly. Bridges, whatever. You built a bridge 50 years ago.
It's a slippery slope. Because the problem is really everybody, the guy who built this table could lay claim to going, I need to wet my beak. Where's my vig? He would never do that. But the point is someone could go, I hung the door in the front of the Winchell's Donuts, and it's the door that everyone walks through to buy donuts. I'm not saying I should get 50 cents a donut, but 2 cents a donut. It would never. It would be endless. And my feeling is call out your price, get paid, and then go home. And if you don't get paid when you're doing it, that's on you. Now, Nicole Eggert could have went, I want $10 grand an episode and I'm quitting, and they would have went, there's the door.
Right.
That's what they would have said.
Right.
Jeremy Jackson took a little more.
Ooh.
You know, a little sniff every now and then.
Yeah. That was his Vic.
He got his
pound of flesh. That's right. Yeah, Jeremy's like, look, they're not going to pay me. At least I'm going to steal some of these donuts.
By the way, Jeremy Jackson also says that he was on speed quite a bit. And speed back then, I believe, was biker crank, not the kind of stuff that's up today.
Jesus.
That might cause the deviated septum that you're hearing in his left.
Oh.
That's a possibility there. But he did mention that
it wasn't a sailing accident?
Right. And his Hobie cat.
You're right. I did hear that he was strung out pretty good for a while.
Yeah, he said at one point he hadn't slept in 5 days, and that's gnarly. Hasselhoff would come up to him and say, "Are you smoking pot or something?" And he's like, "Oh shit."
What would you rather? Not sleep for 2 days, or not shit for 7 days?
Ooh,
my God,
that's easy.
Easy?
Easy. I'd not sleep for 2 days.
Man, it's so fucking painful, though. It's so painful. When
At this festival last weekend, I woke up on... I went 36 hours. I didn't go 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I woke up at, 10 o'clock in the morning, worked all day, and then I had to get a shuttle to the airport at 4:45 in the morning. Festival ends at midnight. Everyone's partying. You're just going to stay up. And then I don't sleep on airplanes. And then I got home and stayed awake as long as I could and finally went to sleep. But I went about 36. 2 days, not a problem. You get a little punchy, but to carry around...
Thank you for shitting on my point. But 2 days is a problem for most people, is what I would say. And I'll bet you closed your eyes on the airplane.
I'm also saying...
Not saying you saw logs.
I'm strictly going with your hypothetical. Compared to not shitting for 7 days... That can be incredibly painful. I've, went for maybe 4 or 5 days and it hurt.
I feel like I've talked to a lot of people who haven't shit for prolonged periods of time. Not good for you, but they just didn't. Like, there's some people that have a shit schedule like snakes eat.
Yes. Yes.
I just eat a whole rabbit every 12 days. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's say 3 days up versus 7 days shitting. And where are you at, Scott?
I love to sleep. I sleep if I could, I would sleep 15 hours a day like a dog, in all honesty. Yeah, I need sleep. So I would take the not shitting.
All right. Well, I've split the room then.
Yeah.
I find serious sleep deprivation is painful, and it affects the shit. Like, you might as well just give me a Quaalude and a 40-ouncer. I'm that good at things once I get past into whatever sleep deprivation. One day, done it. Listen, I used to work morning radio.
Yeah.
And I've done my fair share. But also, I would say, Dawson, there is I've done when I was shooting an independent film, we knocked off one night at like 2:30.
Sure.
I got home at 3. I used to do Howard Stern all the time on very little sleep.
Yeah.
But there's still a difference between like a 90-minute nap and going through. Like, eyes don't close for 2 days. I can get a little charge on a 90-minute nap or 2 hours. When I used to do Stern, I'd come home at 12:30 at night, go to bed at 1:30. And get up at 2:30.
Jesus.
And go back in and do Stern. But
that's true.
The 1 hour could get me through till 9:30 in the morning or whatever. If I couldn't do the 1 hour, I think I would be wrecked. But we'll get a poll. All right. Anyway, what else? What were we talking about?
Well, the creator of My So-Called Life, Winnie Holtzman, was 39 when she was writing this television show. Did you guys ever see it?
My So-Called Life, did you say?
Yeah.
No, what was it on?
It was
I've heard of it.
Groundbreaking drama series about the life of a perfectly normal teenager played by Claire Danes. As she worked her way through the perfectly normal misery of trying to be a human being in American high school in the 1990s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out that the creator of My So-Called Life was definitely a fan of Loveline, not necessarily a fan of yours, though.
Oh.
Yeah. in an interview.
She
was
liked
asked,
the radio show, but not me.
No, she didn't even mention the radio show. They're calling to the TV show. They're calling to the MTV television show. She says, "Do you remember Loveline?" Holzman asked.
This is the creator of my so-called life.
Yeah.
Thank God I didn't start by saying, "Oh God, I love that show." I was like, we were both like, "Huh?" All right, but go ahead.
What was that?
She said there was this show with that guy, Dr. Drew Pinsky was his name. And there were a lot of young people on it. I guess some of them might have been in their 20s, but they were teens calling in. There were teens calling in, asking questions about sex and love. I listen to that sometimes. I'm not saying I stole from that, but it would get me in the mood, and it would assure me that, in other words, life isn't just special for teens. They do go on to credit you later in the article.
I love that show.
Holzman, whose recent credits include working on the script for upcoming Wicked movies, notes that she pulled dialogue from everywhere in life, not just confused teenagers turning to Adam Carolla for sex help.
This is a big story. I expect a lot of calls from family members. My dad's going to get on the blower later today. Son, did a deep dive.
It is curious, though, that she says there was the show with that guy, Dr. Drew Pinsky. It wasn't a show with a guy. It was a show with two guys.
Yeah.
There's always a show with two guys.
What happened to chopped liver over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'd like some more so-called credit next time.
I agree.
How about that? How about my so-called credit, bitch?
Well, I got some good news. We might not hear from Lizzo for a couple years.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah. She's on a mission to restore her mental well-being. The four-time Grammy Award winner.
Please do it in solitude, quietly.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah.
She's going to take a step back.
I hope she comes out with an album of just Don't Stop Believing covers. Just put 15 of those in a row for you.
If we could get her and Sofia Vergara to shut up for a calendar year, it would be so important to me. If I could just not hear something that those two were thinking.
Well, Lizzo announced she's taking a gap year.
Oh, good.
She shared the info on Instagram. She did not add much further clarification. But she released a video. I don't think we have it, but the video description is just great. It's flowery. In the video.
Oh, well, maybe we'll find the video.
She can be seen walking barefoot out to the wooden balcony of her room at what appears to be a resort in Bali. She looked all relaxed. She stood on the balcony with her hands on the railing. At some point, she raised her hands up while droplets of rain fell gently onto her body.
Well, if there's a Lizzo video,
Might be on Instagram.
let's look for it. see if it's there. I'm worried about this, and the reason I'm worried about it is when people,
there you go, there she is,
actually make a commitment to silence and mental health, they don't announce it.
Right.
They just do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm worried that she's going to keep talking throughout this journey.
Yes.
And so I'm not going to start chilling the champagne just yet. Okay, that's Lizzo.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fierce. I think that's pretty fierce.
Yeah. She loves herself.
Some fans are supporting her. One fan wrote, "Soon everybody going to be talking about how great she looks because she's losing some weight after they've been dogging her weight this whole time."
Well, can I say? Let me say this. I would like to defend humanity by saying I don't think we have a big issue with weight. In that we don't stop people randomly at supermarkets who are fat and go like, "Really think you should be eating the peanut butter
It's the wrong
with your
aisle for
carriage?"
you.
Yeah, stay
Get
away
out of
from
the
the pound
carbs.
cake, bitch.
Right.
Got the word pound right in it, and you've picked up too many of them.
You get 5 minutes in the bakery. Move along.
Right. We really don't do that.
Yes.
We're pretty live and let eat, you know? The problem is when the chicks put on the sports bra and the cycling shorts and try to explain to you why this is the new face of beauty, then you get some pushback. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And the problem is they bring it on themselves because they go, look, there's a fat chick in every fucking corner of this universe now. Like, there's just fat people everywhere. Go to Disneyland. There's tons of fat chicks getting around on those Lark scooters. Tons of. I don't stop and ask them their weight. I don't ask them to put the churro down.
What's the tire pressure on that?
I don't ask them about the tire pressure that should be increased with the extra weight. But that's how by the way, my grandfather was killed by a fat chick on a scooter, had a blowout, and just swerved right into his lane, took him out. But I don't say anything, but when you start explaining that this is the new ideal and that we're healthy and that you should be attracted to this, when Dove soap tries to sell us on this, then we push back and then we get into fat shaming. But we're not really into fat shaming. You just try to foist something on us that we didn't want. And that's who we are.
But is it held up as like an ideal, or is it just like people like this exist and Dove soap is trying to go, we know people like this exist?
If they want, there's way more of this than there are Nicole Egerts, then I'd go, true that.
Right.
But they don't do that. They go, we found the new shape of beauty. And then I go, no, you didn't. And now we get into an argument, and that's the issue.
And now you're screaming at the television.
That's right.
I think we stumbled across your new cooking show, though, Live and Let Eat.
Live and Let Eat.
A celebration of
Carolla.
great food and minding your own business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like garlic. Garlic makes everything better.
It's possible that Lizzo's taking her year off because of the sexual harassment suit that was allowed to go forward against her.
I thought it was like a verbal harassment thing.
She allegedly encouraged catching dildos launched from performers' vaginas at a strip club and eating bananas protruding from the performers' vaginas.
Oh, they were on the road.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's no rules on the road.
That's not Orange
The
County.
only rule on the road is don't shit on the bus.
Yeah.
That's the only rule on the road.
Yeah, tell that to Dave Matthews.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like them in Thailand or at like the red light district or something. That's Amsterdam,
they were
right?
in Amsterdam, yes.
Yeah, that's not a States thing.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why the fan was saying like everyone's dogging her for her weight. It seems like there was a bigger issue going on that people didn't like.
Let's bury the lead. Yeah. She's fat. It's easy. There you go.
Yeah, you're gonna get sued. I mean, that's just where we're at these days.
Yeah. She looks like she lost a lot of weight, though. She looks really good, especially in that rain. It just looks glorious on her vacation in Bali.
I can't wait for updates on the gap year every other week.
And also, if you're big and beautiful and bold, then why are you losing weight? Like I don't get it. There's
she plays the flute, right?
Yeah,
maybe it's an airflow thing. Maybe it's a
wind thing.
Breathing as well, and her flautist skills are starting to suffer. So maybe she's doing it for the art.
Joe, I think I liked a tweet that from a few days back that was insane about a female doctor explaining that being fat wasn't bad for you. You can look it up. It's probably on the internet somewhere. So it's always a thin white chick who explains, like, because they want the other bitches to get fatter, more cock for them. But they never. That's the subtext. They never say it, but I know what they mean. They want everyone to be a fucking blimp except for them. Oh, do you have that? That one. It's pretty crazed. It is a female, obviously woke doctor. I'm also semi-convinced that a lot of people put a few fake degrees up on their wall and then put the top of Scrubs on and then give you a lecture on shit. Like, I could just be like, smoking's good for you, but eating pussy will kill you.
Right.
Anyway, I'm Dr. Adam.
Scrubs
I got the scrub top on, so you can take it from me. All right. Let's hear what she says. She's
Here's
a
my
doctor.
hot take as a doctor. I totally agree. It is okay to be fat. We don't say that enough, but it needs to be normalized. If you are fat, that is okay. It is typically not a problem that requires immediate solving. It is not an emergency. You don't have to drop everything in the pursuit of being not fat. Erin said this other thing in a different video that I totally agree with as well, is that it is okay to not be healthy. We act like it is this moral failing, this cardinal sin that you deserve a scarlet letter if you are not healthy. And there's a name for that, and that's called healthism. Now, don't get me wrong. In my line of work, there's a lot of people that I see that want to gain weight, lose weight, take other measures that they think will improve their health in some way. And by all means, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you with that and be supportive of that. Yeah. But a good doctor will not judge you for being fat. They will not judge you for being unhealthy. They will not judge the decisions that you made or the decisions that were made for you, which is the much more likely scenario
good doctor.
that got you to the point
good doctor
where you are
That's
right
a good
now.
doctor.
We're going to help you with the changes that you want to make.
Now do
and
smoking.
If you are someone
if I told this bitch I vaped, she'd fucking tackle me on the way out to the car.
Losing weight can be health promoting. We're here to help you with that. We are also here to help you if you decide to not make any changes at all. We're still there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God.
Hey,
this is trouble.
I'm the coach for your new basketball team. And listen, I'm going to give you guys some drills to work on. But if you don't work on it, if you don't dribble and take your free throws every day, I'm not going to get mad at you.
No, thank you. That'll be your personal decision.
It's your personal decision.
Being fat's about the worst thing, least healthy way you can live. And it cost us tons of money. And everyone that got ravaged by COVID was basically fat people. So I don't know what the fuck. It's horrible on your joints. Like, I have no idea what this bitch is talking about. But anyway, that's where we're at now.
There is something to
Elvis had a better doctor.
He's got all the right
Elvis
drugs.
had a less dangerous doctor than this bitch.
Yeah.
There is something too where it's like if you're overweight and you go to the doctor, I feel like the doctor's always going to go to, you do need to lose weight, instead of like if there is something deeper going on or some issue. I feel like you have trouble getting believed sometimes.
Why do they weigh you every time you get a checkup if it's neither here nor there? You know what I mean? Like, they don't measure my hair. You know what I mean? Like, first thing you do is you step on a scale when you get a checkup. So why?
If I had to guess, so they can see any drastic reductions or increases in your weight since the last time you were visited.
And I'm here to also tell you, it's for them to go, you could probably drop a couple lbs, for your height and your build and whatever, you should be coming in about 190 and you're 207. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. That's what doctors do. They tell you shit all the time that you don't want to do. That's what they do. That's what doctors and dentists do.
Well, that's right, yeah.
They go, enough of the candy corn now.
Right. Well, you might have heard about this story a long time ago, in 2022, not a long time ago, but a former Nevada politician was sentenced to life in prison after being found guilty on Wednesday of killing a journalist in September of 2022. As the jury's foreperson read out the guilty verdict,
news.
Clark County Public Administrator Robert Tellis looked down and shook his head. He was sentenced to life in prison with the eligibility for parole after a minimum of 20 years. Basically, what happened was that he stabbed a Las Vegas Journal Review reporter. Go ahead.
I would be a mess being sentenced.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'd go, all right, we're giving you 10 years, and then you'll be eligible for parole after 10 years. And I would be like, but that's from right now, right? And they'd be like, no, we got to get you processed. And I'd go, well, how long's that going to take? They'd be like, a week. I'd be like, no. You just sentenced me to 10 years.
Right.
You just hit your fucking gavel right now. I should be, I'm prorating this shit. It's from now.
Starting the stopwatch.
Bailiff, what time is it?
There actually is.
12:45. All right. I'm not starting the clock 4 days from now. I got to get on this 10 years now.
Now, I'm not sure in this guy's case because they say it's 20 years until he's eligible for parole with a life sentence. But when you do get a yearly sentence, they take out time served. So if you were being held prior to trial, those are days that count. And then a lot of states, if you do 2 days without getting into trouble, they give you a third day free.
Oh,
so
really?
You only end up doing, in California, I believe, you only end up doing, a lot of counties in California, you end up doing 2/3 of your sentence if you stay out of trouble.
This is one of the rare instances, I'm looking at both these gentlemen, where they both look like the killer.
Yeah.
Usually it's easy to tell. The El Salvadorian migrant and the blonde chick, it's pretty easy to do that. One of them was jogging.
They're both capable of murder.
They
both of those people.
I mean, you put a gun in my head, I'd be like, they both seem like they could do some damage.
Either way, I'm not playing poker with either of them.
No. Turns out the guy on the right is the guy who did the killing.
Okay.
The killing. And we killed this journalist because this was an older story, I think.
Yes, this is a couple of years ago. He stabbed the reporter to death because the reporter exposed corruption in his office, destroying both his political career and his marriage. The story detailed an allegedly hostile work environment, including bullying, retaliation, and an inappropriate relationship between Tellis and his staff.
Stabbing a guy for that's okay, but it's not like he tried to help a woman off a table or something. Something that was really stabbable. Right. You know what I mean? All he did was expose a little corruption. Yeah, it's not like he helped the woman.
Offered a hand.
Offered a hand.
Yeah, he was arrested days after this happened, but this is almost 2 years. I guess that's how long the justice system takes. That seems pretty expedient. I don't know.
Yeah.
But his family took the stand and just begged not to give him a life sentence without parole. I guess he's got a young family, so he might see parole after 20 years and be able to see his family one more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't feel like people would beg for me to get out early. I think they'd like to just kind of know where I was, you know.
Who's paying for stuff while you're in?
Oh, that's a good point. They might beg.
Get them out.
They might beg.
You're
right.
He's got like 90 people.
Somebody's got to pay for shit. Oh, yeah. You're right. I didn't factor in people may have to pay for their own shit theory.
The table residual guy is going to come after for you.
That's right.
Where is he?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more. Let me just ask, is our guest here? Because I was told they were getting here early, but then there's a sign that you didn't hold up. Oh, okay.
Can I add one thing to the Jeremy Jackson confesses that he smelled?
Please.
He started when he was 10, so not 8, but he did it for a decade.
Oh, hold on a second. Okay. In the doc, it said he got cast at 8.
Okay, probably.
He didn't start the sniffing.
He joined Baywatch when he was only 10.
Oh, and so in the doc...
And he was there from 90 to 99. So he was done at, 19. Now, I'm just saying this.
Those are prime sniffing years.
Yes, those are prime sniffing years, but the sniffing years are like 11 and a half.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Jackson did far worse things when he was 13, 14, and 15 years old. I will guarantee that.
You're saying sniffing is a stepping stone drug?
It's a slippery slope is what it is.
You start with sniffing, but you end up getting into necrophilia or something. Like it all starts with a sniff.
Started listening to INXS.
I need a new doc.
All of a sudden he had a collection of ties.
Yeah. So you're saying now they said in the doc 8, but they said auditioning, probably audition.
Okay.
Maybe he was like about to turn 9 and auditioned and then started the next year or whatever it is. But they said he did the sniffing at 13.
If he did the sniffing at 13, he's holding back in this documentary. He's not giving you everything that dude did at 13. I did worse things to my television set while watching Baywatch than he did on the set of Baywatch. No.
Yeah.
No way.
At least it wasn't first day of work. He was doing it. He waited 3 years or something.
He had seniority.
Yeah. Wait, tenure. He was grandfathered into those panties.
By the way, this is Jeremy. He's going to sniff your bikini at the end of the day. It's in a contract.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, most of the time I tell women to get over it, but I could see them going, ugh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Plus, the guy turned out to be like a pretty hardcore junkie.
Right.
And now you got to think maybe your musk turned him to drugs. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe your snatch was so smelly.
What else can I
he
sniff?
tried to soothe the pain with drugs. You know what I mean? That's on you.
It's possible.
It's highly possible. It's not. It's likely.
It's probable.
It's probable.
It's probable.
It's probable.
Yeah. From bikini bottoms to biker crank.
That's right.